Fasil sir's house. I auditioned. I was there for a day and a half. And Fahad was also there. So both of us I had to basically audition because I think Fahad and Kuda, if I'm not wrong, I think they shot a bit with Fahad.
Right.
They were not getting the female lead opposite him our time.
Namaskaram, Madhurageetham viewers. This is RJ Vidyashankar, and today with me we have an actress par brilliance, the national award-winning Priya Mani. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Ma'am, US lo holiday la annariyam, but still you made time for us, so we're very thankful. And we'll get started straight away with Neru, ma'am. I think all audience, they want to keep hearing from you about your experience in Neru. But before that, I saw the movie in theaters, Canada. It is brilliant. The movie is brilliant.
Thank you.
It's a big hit, getting a lot of critical acclaim for your performance, for the movie as a whole. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And ma'am, നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ് ഞാൻ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്, but still to hear it from the horse's mouth. Jitu Joseph sir approached you, it was an impulsive yes and other things. Is there something very special in your experience in working in Neru, which you have not shared in any of the interviews before, which you would give it as an exclusive for us?
അങ്ങനെ exclusive ആയിട്ട് പറയാനൊന്നുമില്ല. It was just, again, as everybody knows, I mean, കണ്ടവരൊക്കെ അവർക്കറിയാം, it was a very impulsive yes. I wanted to work with Jitu sir. I've always wanted to work with him since Drishyam. I've never had an opportunity to. പക്ഷെ എപ്പോഴും എൻ്റെ ഒരു മൈൻഡിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, I wish I could work with Jitu sir sometime or the other, because the way he came up with Drishyam, a concept of an ordinary man trying to bury the truth, and to what lengths he will go to protect his family. അതൊക്കെ ആ ഒരു കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. I saw the Malayalam version. Right. I saw even the Hindi version, because unfortunately my husband and family, they don't understand Malayalam. They know, പക്ഷെ കുറെ വേർഡ്സ് അവർക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും. പക്ഷെ ആസ് എ മൂവി ആസ് സച്ച് അങ്ങനെ കാണുമ്പോൾ they'll see it with the subtitles. I think my husband saw the Malayalam version also with subtitles, obviously. And Hindi vannu kayinittu we saw the Hindi version as well. And so I was like, okay, Jitu sir, I've always wanted to work with him. Pinna enganeyo neril, it happened, and I was so happy that finally he gave me a call and he said, listen, ഇത് ഭയങ്കര പെട്ടെന്നാണ് എനിക്ക് അറിയാം, പക്ഷെ we're going to start in like 10-15 days time, so can you come? So I was doing 2 other films at that time. So I had to call them up, and I had to rework my dates, my schedule, and everything. I came on board Neru. പക്ഷെ അങ്ങനെ അറിയാത്ത കാര്യങ്ങൾ അങ്ങനെ ഒന്നും ഇല്ല. ആക്ച്വലി എക്സ്ക്ലൂസീവ് ആയിട്ട് അങ്ങനെ ഇതൊന്നും ഇല്ല. ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് my journey to Neru and through Neru has always been a very transparent, open book.
Yes. It's because the promotional interviews, like ma'am, how through a tweet and you had the conversation with Jitu. So let me change the question then. Yes. So working in Neru was an impulsive yes, because the call was from Jitu Joseph and you wanted to work with the director. Let's say if it's any other director or newcomer director, what is actress Priya Mani's regular process to say yes to a project? If somebody has to come and get you on board to a project, is it a full script narration? What is your regular process?
See, it is not okay, let me correct you here. It is not necessarily that it has to be only or established director ആയത് കൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ഒരു impulsive ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ yes പറഞ്ഞു, അങ്ങനെയല്ല.
Right.
One of the reasons, yes, you can say that yes, it was a Jitu Joseph and Mohanlal combination. That was one. Pasha, the second, the other factor which was the most important for me was the story. And adile ende character endana. Adippo aarayalam, even if Neru was probably directed by somebody else, and not necessarily Jitu sir. And if Mohanlal sir's character was played by somebody else and not necessarily him, and if the character was good, I would have done it. Illa. But for Nere, I listened to what it was, and Jitu sir, right at the start, he was very clear. He said, the importance, I mean, it is not an main lead alla, Pasha, you definitely have an importance in the film. As all Baki ella filmilem ella characters, whoever I have casted, whoever has been, they've all had importance in their films. And I know that Jitu sir, as a director, obviously gives, even if he calls any actor, he will give them the importance that they deserve. Jitu sir, he was very clear right from the start, saying this is not a main lead, Paksha. You have an importance in this. You are playing a defense counsel. You are one of the most important lawyers. Tangal vandu Supreme Court inde oru lawyer aanu. You and your father, you guys are lawyers. You guys are defending the accused, and you go all your way. You go out all out to defend him as much as possible, even though you knowing what the whole incident is about and everything. So I said, okay, sir, I'd love to do it, because Grandmaster I played yes, it was a lawyer's character, but very, very montages finish. They didn't establish that she is a, they didn't show the courts and things.
True.
Adallada, I think the next I played a lawyer was for Salam Venki, where I played Revati ma'am's movie. I played a prosecutor. And so I'm playing a defense counsel. I'm defending the accused. So I said, okay, it's quite interesting. And then he said, then Jitu sir, right from the start, he said, Tangalde scenes maximum, you're only with Siddiq sir or you're with Mohanlal sir. And especially Mohanlal sir, it's only in the court. And it's a very crisp 12 to 13 days role. And maximum thing is only in the court, and that too with Lal sir. And you have your, that is where you will show your, your capability, because you're the character is a Supreme Court lawyer, who is the high, she is a high lawyer, and she comes down and she fights. Actually, the avalde case alla, Achande case ana. But for whatever reason, Achan could not be a part of it, and he was, he could not represent the client anymore. So he says, okay, she takes over the case, and then she comes up with, everything else. I said, Sherry sir, I would love to be a part of it. And I told my manager also, I said, see, the story is nice. It's Jitu sir, Mohanlal sir, and Ashirwad Cinema, Anthony Perma was the producer. What else do you want? I mean, it's a dream combination. And after about 5 or 6 years, I was entering back into Malayalam, because my last Malayalam padam, I think, was Ashik Vanda Divasam in 2017, which I just did after my marriage. So at the kind of 6 years, I think Malayalam padam cheyidilla. Then I consulted with my husband also. He said, go for it, do it. It's a nice movie. I mean, it's Mohanlal sir at the end of the day, and Jitu Joseph sir, who also directed Nyan Drishyam, because he first couldn't figure out Jitu Joseph sir in the Parayambo, he couldn't figure out the name. Right. So when I said Drishyatinte director aanennu Parayambo, he said, go for it, just do it. So that's how I was part of Nehru.
Right. So as an average moviegoer, I am in awe of the craft that you bring to the table. We have seen you in Parithiveeran, we have seen you in movies before that, we have seen you in Tirakkatha, Pranjiyatra and the Saint, so many movies, Charulata, so on. You've had the opportunity to work with doyens, legendary directors like Bharati Raja sir, Balu Mahendra sir, Maniratnam sir, Ranjit sir in Malayalam. Ma'am, endengilum ivarodu, have you asked them, what do you see is the USP in the actress in me? Like, we don't know, right? Nyanapuru cinema lover. I am absolutely stunned when you perform different characters. But there should be a reason why these great filmmakers are stunned and they are approaching you and asking you to come and act for them. Have you ever had that conversation with them?
No, unfortunately, no. And I don't think ഞാൻ ആ പൊസിഷനിലാണ് to ask them what did you see in me to cast me in this. Obviously, they must have seen something, which is why they called me out and they cast me in their respective films. Um, പക്ഷെ I'm just എനിക്ക് ഒരേ ഒരു കാര്യം പറയാനുണ്ട് that I'm really fortunate, I'm very honored that I got a chance to work with such big legends right at the start of my career. അതിപ്പോ ഭാരതി രാജ സാറിന്റെ കൂടെ എൻ്റെ ഫസ്റ്റ് പടം ഭാരതി രാജ സാറിന്റെ ഡയറക്ഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു. ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ്ലി നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഫിലിം വാസ് ബാലു മഹേന്ദ്ര സർ. പിന്നെ തെലുങ്കില് I worked with Rajmouli sir. Kannadala I worked with the big directors. Malayalathala I worked with Vinayan sir also, who is a very big director. My career started with Vinayan sir in Malayalam,
Satyam, yeah.
And pinna came Ranjit sir with 2 films, Tirakada and Pranjetan. So I'm sure, I don't know. Actually, personally, I think you would be the better person to ask them that. And if you get an answer, answer, please do let me know.
If I'm fortunate enough to speak with them, I'm definitely going to ask them, because we are always thrilled to see you on screen. Now, and that's where I had another question. I do understand that you had a Bangalore upbringing, Palakkad and Swadesham. So there is always this appreciation of different cultures by virtue of your background and by virtue of upbringing. How do you translate that into the characters you play? Because on one hand, you have to play somebody in Parithivan, then you have to come, you're doing a completely interior architecture person in Pranjetan, and then you go to Telugu, and there are also the mainstream commercial movies that you have done, right? And I'm correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking you've been seamlessly moving between Kannada, Telugu, Hindi simultaneously. Pala genre characters. Does it ever get a little bit overwhelming, confused? Then I have to switch to this, I have to switch to that.
Sometimes language can get a little confusing. And it's not the dialogues per se, but when you're talking to your fellow the unit people per se, not the actors. Ipo unit inde aalkaralaittu samsarikkumbo, you like suddenly pettannu you talk one language, they look at you like what's wrong with you. So okay, for example, I'm in Bangalore, so actually for me, switching of the languages is it's not difficult for me. I think that was a plus point that I had since I grew up in Bangalore. But yes, Telugu and Malayalam, I spoke to people, and that's how I picked it up. Kannada and Tamil, because I was born and brought up in Bangalore, so Tamil, and we're from Palakkad, so actually we're Tamil, I guess. So ഞങ്ങൾ സംസാരിക്കുന്നത് തമിഴാണ്, പക്ഷെ Malayalam words ഉണ്ട്, so I could follow Malayalam at that point of time. Kannada I can read and write because I was born and brought up in Bangalore. But Telugu and Malayalam ഞാൻ എല്ലാവരുമായിട്ട് യൂണിറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ സംസാരിച്ച് അങ്ങനെ, that's how I picked up. So പെട്ടെന്ന് എനിക്ക് for me personally, if I have to switch over to languages, എനിക്ക് അത്ര വലിയ കുഴപ്പമില്ലായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ എൻ്റെ സ്റ്റാഫിനുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, because they're basically my makeup and hair, they're from Bombay. My spot boy, my assistant is from Hyderabad. So എല്ലാവരുടെ common ഇത് ഹിന്ദിയാണ്. ചിലവർക്ക് ഹിന്ദി മനസ്സിലാവും, ചിലവർക്ക് ഹിന്ദി മനസ്സിലാവില്ല. So they look at me and they say, ma'am, especially ഇപ്പോൾ കേരളയില് ഇപ്പോൾ everybody obviously knows Hindi. So ഇങ്ങനെ ബ്രോക്കൺ ഹിന്ദിയിൽ അവർ സംസാരിച്ചത് they get their point across. പക്ഷെ ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ പെട്ടെന്ന് അവർ എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് വന്നിട്ട് പറയും, മാഡം എനിക്ക് ഇത് ഒന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ ഇവരുടെ അടുത്ത്, this is what we want എന്നൊക്കെ. So അങ്ങനെ I had to switch over saying, okay, I'm Malayalam അല്ലേ, okay, ഇതാണ് ചേട്ടാ, ഇതാണ് വേണ്ടത്, or if it is Kannada or something. So അങ്ങനെ I had to conversing with them to get the point across. Our time I had to just a second, and they took me back, and I was like, okay, we are here. But then I changed over to the language and spoke.
Right. So, ma'am, you've always maintained that you're an actress by accident, a model by choice. You wanted to do modeling. And acting happened. So if I may ask, what prompted you into modeling in the first place?
Actually, college time, we had this intercollegiate fest that was happening, competition. So I think I filled in for one of the girls, and So അങ്ങനെ എനിക്ക് മോഡലിംഗിൽ ഇഷ്ടം വന്നു, എസ്പെഷ്യലി റാമ്പ്, ബിക്കോസ് we get to wear nice clothes and walk and so ആ ഒരു മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റിൽ ഞാൻ that evening ഞാൻ തിരിച്ച് അമ്മയുടെ അടുത്ത് വന്നിട്ട് I told her that I want to get into modeling. But bear in mind, I wanted only to do ramp, not picture.
Okay.
We shifted to, we didn't shift, sorry. We came over to Chennai. Chennai la correct contacts kitti. Then I did my professional portfolio done. So again, I got my professional portfolio done, came back to Bangalore. And Bangalore on the kind, I shared my picture with Prasad Bittappa, who is the fashion guru in Bangalore. For Prasad, he saw my pictures and he said, your face suits more for picture modeling ramp, because ramp, there's a height requirement and all that. Apparana എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി that there is something called picture modeling, which basically means your advertisements, your photo shoots for products and things like that. പിന്നെയാണ് എനിക്ക് കുറെ offers from Chennai കിട്ടാൻ തുടങ്ങി for soaps and shampoos and sarees and jewelry, you name it. എനിക്ക് കുറെ അങ്ങനെ offers കിട്ടാൻ തുടങ്ങി from Chennai and from Kerala actually. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ കുറെ ads in Tamil and Malayalam ഞാൻ തുടങ്ങി. Then slowly അങ്ങനെ Telugu വരാൻ തുടങ്ങി. Kannada I have not done many ads, but yeah, it is predominantly these 3 states.
Right. അങ്ങനെ modeling and then the acting.
modeling തുടങ്ങി. പിന്നെയാണ് എനിക്ക് ഒന്നൊന്നായിട്ട് ഓഫേഴ്സ് വരാൻ തുടങ്ങി for films. And I was still studying at that time, so I said I didn't want to pursue anything till I finished at least some education kind of thing.
Right.
Then one by one I started getting offers, and in fact much before Kanglal kaide say, my very first offer was by Fazil sir.
I see. Yeah. I think Kayyattum Doorathu. Yeah, you had auditioned for that.
I had auditioned for that. I'd gone to Fazil sir's house. I auditioned. I was there for a day and a half. Nyanum ammayum poi. And Fahad was also there. So both of us I had to basically audition, because I think Fahad and Kuda, if I'm not wrong, I think they shot a bit with Fahad. Right. They were not getting the female lead opposite him at time. Appo ende audition kandu kayinittu, because as I said, I was there for a day and a half. Sir ne veetlaanittu audition. I auditioned with Fahad also. Then sir bhayangara ishtai. So he said, I want you to act in the film immediately. Vannal, I'm ready to sign you on right now, and we can start right now. Not immediately, but probably after 10-15 days or something, or a month or something like that. പക്ഷെ ആ ടൈമിൽ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ല സർ, എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ കോളേജിന്റെ എക്സാംസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. സോ I said no, if I want to do, let me finish my exams. പിന്നെ ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ ചെയ്യാമെന്നാണ് ഞാൻ ഫാസിൽ സർ ആ ടൈമിൽ പറഞ്ഞു. പക്ഷെ അൺഫോർച്ചുനേറ്റ്ലി couldn't wait. പിന്നെ അങ്ങനെ ആ പടം പോയി. Then I got congratulated.
Absolutely. There I had something to ask. അതായത് ഇപ്പോ over 20 years, over 70 films, all the awards, you've worked with legends, but there are moments when you have to say no. So Fazil sir nodanu no parayunnathu. Nobody else but the Fazil. You're saying no, sir. I have to wait. So you may have to have said no at multiple instances, right?
Yeah.
The question is, how do you muster up the courage to let go of certain things, knowing that this is an offer from Fazil? How does that confidence, or how do you muster up that courage, saying that, okay, that
was a very unfortunate thing that I missed out on Fazil sir's. I missed out acting under Fazil sir's direction. But I still say never. വീണ്ടും ഒരു ചാൻസ് കിട്ടിയാൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഞാൻ ഫാസിൽ സാറിന്റെ ഡയറക്ഷനിൽ ഞാൻ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും എനിക്ക് ചാൻസ് കിട്ടിയാൽ I would love to work with Fazil sir, because of the pure genius that he is. പക്ഷെ mustering up courage, I've always stood my ground. I mean, if I like something and if I want to do it, I will do it. If I don't feel that it's right, this is not regards to Fazil sir's topic. Pashe, on a generic basis, if I find something convincing enough that yes, I can do it in the Varnya Nyan Tirshayachum Njan Cheyyum. If I think that somewhere down the line, if I think no, it's not going to work out, I'm not that convinced, I will openly tell them like, look, I'm sorry, but I don't think I'll be able to work in your projects. And then I'm going to Kore offers vannu, and I told them no, I won't. I'm sorry, but I'm not very convinced with the character or the role, so I'm sorry, I won't be a part of it. So I don't think I'm gonna it's not a big thing. I mean, I do understand from their point of view that they would like that particular actor to be a part of it. Paksha, from our point of view, especially, if I'm convinced, if I like it, and if I'm convinced that I can do it, then and I've always stood by that right from the start.
Lovely. And again, going back to the whole 20-year graph that you've had, right? And you've held your own working with any superstar, that I must say. But you've worked with Shah Rukh Khan, you've worked with Mammootty, Mohanlal, and so many stars. And there is so much stardom, but how do you carry it with so much ease? Like, in every interview, I'm not trying to flatter you, please don't get me wrong. Every interview, it comes with so much ease. You don't seem to carry that weight. Like, I've worked with so many people. You don't seem to take yourself too seriously, which I'm saying is a good thing. But how do you manage to do this?
I think it's all thanks to my family. They keep me very grounded. They don't let that I've done 70 odd films or whatever. They don't let that get into my head. I am an actor only in front of the camera. Off camera, I'm a very, very normal girl. Like whoever is in your house, I could pass off as your sister, I could pass off as your friend, I could pass off as whoever. I think that's one thing that in that cinema meme they've installed that in me, that no matter what, never forget your roots, never forget from where you started. Even if your movie is a hit, it's not a hit, never forget from where you started, because that's where you basically start at the root level. Nobody starts there. Even if your very first film is a success, great, very good. But I've always learned it the hard way, and I think that's how I will continue.
Lovely, ma'am. So may you continue to be like this, and may more success come your way. May more good work come your way, and
thank you.
May you always keep us entertained and
thank you.
Amazed at your talent. And I have to once again thank you for giving us your time.